Hello, welcome to 12 Palms Resort and Spa. Do I work here? That's an interesting question. Technically no. So Frank, the guy whose shop this is, he had to step out for a minute because of a little emergency, and he just asked me to stand in for him for 20 minutes, but I work right next door in the boutique, and Frank's a big talker. So over, the last couple months that I've been here, I've definitely picked up like a trick or two. So if you're a total novice, then I could probably teach you a couple things. You are? Okay, great. Are you familiar with smoking cigars at all? Alright, so I would suggest if you're just getting started. So over here we have, these are some of the cheaper cigars, These are your $15, $20, nothing extravagant. So do you even know how to cut a cigar? Alright, so let me show you. So this is one of the more popular cigars that are on the cheaper side. I should say more affordable. They're all very good quality though. You'll definitely have to come back when Frank is here. He is amazing. He's this really cool older guy from Brooklyn, and he just has the best stories, and he knows absolutely everything there is to know about cigars. But alright, so I can teach you some of the basics. So if you're gonna cut a cigar, it's really essential that you don't cut off where the tobacco actually is. Alright, so if you look really closely, here, I'll open this one up for you. Do a little demonstration. How long are you going to be in town? Oh, nice. Okay. So you got here a day earlier than your friends? Alright, well, there's definitely plenty to do while you're waiting. So if you look closely, do you see there's a little line here, right at the very top? So that's the cap, alright? So when you cut, it's essential that you only remove the very, very, very top cap, because otherwise, and I learned this the hard way, otherwise you're going to be getting tobacco in your mouth. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a great experience. And you also, so you see these outer leaves here. So this is kind of the suit jacket, if you will, the wrapping paper of the cigar. And if you cut down too far, you're gonna ruin the jacket, the wrapping paper, and it kind of essentially is gonna sort of fall apart. Do you want to practice? This one's not an expensive one, and I'll just say this one's on the house. Okay, so here's the guillotine, and what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna line it just above the cap, and you're gonna just quickly. You don't want to do it too slowly, because if you do it too slowly like that, you're gonna kind of crush it. So do it kind of quickly. Wow, look at you. You did that perfectly. Let me see the cap. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, there's no tobacco on that. That's awesome. Alright, so the second step, so you're gonna have to light it outside actually, but I'm gonna show you, kind of talk you through. So do you have a Do you have a lighter or do you have a torch? Okay, so like a very common mistake is that a lot of people will hold the cigar up to the flame and they'll actually touch like the foot of the cigar to the flame. That is a big no-no. You don't want to do that because then you're gonna like char. You're gonna char the cigar, and so then you're gonna get like all this, black charcoal essentially, like right in there. And when you inhale, you're gonna draw that all through the entirety of the cigar, and you're like essentially going to completely ruin it. And you don't want to do that. If you've spent a lot of money on a cigar, the last thing you want to do is light it incorrectly and ruin the entire thing. So, like, the correct way to do it is you're gonna do what's called toasting. Yeah, like a toasted marshmallow or something. So I'm not an expert on this, but I know that, like, I've seen Frank do it a bunch of times. So what he does is he like holds the flame a ways away from the actual foot, and he just lets the heat is gonna toast the cigar. So you kind of like turn it, and then you're just making sure that the heat from the cigar is toasting the front. And you really want to make sure, this is not cut off right now, this cap's still on, but you want to make sure that all the tobacco is getting very evenly toasted. The way he explained it to me is that, so like a cigar is kind of like a submarine sandwich, basically. So, like when you make a sandwich, you don't put like lettuce, then tomato, then, your turkey, then your avocado. Like it's all evenly distributed together. And that's the way that a roller has made this cigar. So it's like all the different blends of the tobacco, they're all distributed in a way that you're supposed to be experiencing them like simultaneously as you're smoking this cigar. So if you don't toast it uniformly and say like, it's toasted here, but down here you didn't get to it, when you inhale, you're not going to be experiencing like every single part of the tobacco all at the same time, the way that the roller intended for it to be experienced. So it's really essential that you toast it properly. And then when you don't want to make sure you're not blackening it, you're just getting it like a very nice, like rich brown. So at that point, you're going to light it and inhale. You think you're ready to try to toast yours? Alright, so get out your lighter. Okay, so remember, just hold it, don't touch it to the actual foot, and just let the heat go. Yeah, like that. You're twisting, twist it, and just get it evenly distributed. That looks good. Alright, so then when you start to begin to smoke, just do like a little inhale, like 4 seconds, very lightly, just kind of like you're lightly like sipping on a straw. Okay, good. And then let's check it. So look Let me see. All right, so we're looking at the cherry right now. We want to make sure the cherry is the lit part of the cigar. So you want to see, like yours is not 100. So yeah, like there's that one spot that you missed. So re-toast it again. Just make sure you get that part. All right, perfect. Yeah, no, that happens. So yeah, that's how you would check the cherry to make sure that it is evenly lit. It's called kissing. So you just do like a little blow on the foot, and then that's gonna show you the cherry of the cigar, and you can tell if you have an evenly distributed flame going on there. Yeah, yours looks perfect now. Good job. You're good at this. So one of the cool things about cigars actually is, they really force you to just slow down and to be in the moment, because you don't want to smoke it too quickly. You don't want to rush it. You just want to smoke it at the perfect pace and like the perfect rhythm. If you go too fast, then like you're like stove piping it, then you're gonna ruin the cigar. You're gonna ruin the taste of it. The cherry is gonna get too hot by drawing that much smoke, into it quickly. You're gonna heat everything up too much, and the flavor is going to be affected by that. So, what I've heard, like a good sort of rule of thumb, it's like what Frank taught me, is that you want to sort of like roughly draw in a breath like every 45 seconds to a minute. It's like a good, after a while, it's just going to become sort of more natural as you get more into like the pace and the rhythm of it. So the thing about cigars, unlike a cigarette, is they will go out. Cigarettes are filled with all sorts of, disgusting additives and chemicals and whatnot. But, cigars, like you just have the tobacco. There's not any of that, disgusting additives that cigarettes have with those chemicals. So cigars will go out, if you're smoking them too slowly. So there really is this like perfect sort of pace that you can get into, and it's a very like almost meditative experience once you sort of master it. Yeah, no, definitely. It's, just like a good time to get together with your friends and just relax, tell stories, just chill, take your time, enjoy it, not in any rush. So again, like another way that cigars are different than cigarettes, you're not going to inhale these into your lungs. You're just going to be breathing them into your mouth. So yeah, you're just going to let it go into your mouth, like fill your mouth for like 4 to 5 seconds, and then you just kind of like let the smoke like fall out of your mouth. You just kind of like open your mouth and let the smoke fall out. You're not going to be like exhaling it the way you would like a cigarette. You force it out. You just let it fill your mouth slowly, and then the smoke just falls out of your mouth. Good, yeah, just like that. That's perfect. See, you're natural at this. It's a very relaxing way just to like spend the day. So what Frank taught me about cigars is that, you know, they can be divided into like 3 sections. So, you know, you have the first, third. When you first start here, this is going to be like this kind of like where you're at now, this sort of explosion of very bold flavors in your mouth, all right? And so then he was telling me like this middle third section here, like this is like considered, I guess, the best part of the cigar. So this is like, it's mellowed out a little bit. This is when it should be tasting the best. It's like the most, I guess, just full-bodied, well-rounded part of the cigar. And then this part, like this is the tricky part, the final third. So if you smoke the final third section too long, you run the risk of going too far and getting to a point where it no longer tastes good at all. So Frank just kind of like told me, you know, once you got to that final third section, like have maybe a couple, you know, puffs, but don't risk it. Like he always says, like it's better to end early than go one puff too long and, you know, ruin the whole experience. So at that point, just go on with your evening or maybe move on to a different cigar once you're in that final third section. Yeah, it's a very risky business, so I've been told. Oh, and then here's just like another tip. So he was explaining to me that apparently it's just very bad etiquette if, you know, you're at a cigar bar or you're somewhere and you're done smoking. You don't want to snuff out the cigar the way you would like a cigarette. You know, cigarettes you have to put out because they're going to continue burning once they've been lit. However, with a cigar, if you are not puffing on it, then it's going to go out on its own. So what you want to do is you just want to like set it on the ashtray and you're just going to let it naturally go out on its own as opposed to snuffing it out, because when you do that, it creates this very sort of like acrid, nasty scent that's going to stink up like the entire room, and everyone is going to really resent you for that. So do not do that faux pas. You know, just let it, set it down and let it go out naturally on its own. Oh, I just remembered like one more tip that he taught me. So say you are smoking it and, you know, you're talking, you're in the moment and you realize that, okay, it's gone out. You don't want to relight the cigar when it has like, say, a bunch of ash. So if you retoast the cigar when it has all of that ash at the end, then you're going to be breathing in this taste of all of that ash, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. So like a good thing to do if it's gone out is you'll take like your car key. That works really well because it has like those little, you know, kind of grooves, ridges in it. You'll scrape out the ash, but you're gonna leave the outer wrapper. You don't want to mess up the outer wrapper. So you're gonna scrape that out. You can also use like the foot of a match. Just get that ash out of there. Good, yeah, I mean, you don't have to be like super delicate, but you're gonna get that out until you can see the tobacco. Yeah, that looks good. So then you're gonna re-toast it again with just the tobacco, so you don't get all of that like nasty ash taste. I think that you've got it. Are you interested in purchasing some? You might honestly want to wait. Like that one's on the house. You might want to wait till Frank gets back. He should be back probably like in 10 minutes. And he'll explain to you in much more detail like the flavors and everything. I don't really know. There's not like the very bare minimum here. I'm like just getting started myself, learning how to smoke the cigars, but it's like such an enjoyable experience once you get into it. Are you gonna be here and like be around tonight? Are you planning on leaving the premises? Oh, perfect. Tonight's pasta night over like in front of the Italian restaurant. So yeah, like over by the courtyard. That's where everybody kind of like sits around and smokes. So I'm gonna be there tonight. I never miss pasta night. Pasta night's amazing. So they have any pasta you can possibly imagine, any noodle, any sauce combination, and they make it for you however you like. And we just sit out in the courtyard and like watch the sunset and smoke the cigars. It's such a nice way to spend the evening. I definitely think that you should come, especially since you said like the rest of your friends aren't coming here till tomorrow. And Frank's hilarious. You're gonna love his stories, and I'll be there. It's just a really good time. So yeah, you just can like hang out with me here for a little bit. You want anything to drink while we're waiting? I'm sure he won't mind if we have like one glass. He owes me. I've done like a ton of favors for him, so like don't even stress. And so yeah, we'll just wait for him to get here. Enjoy your cigar, drink some wine, and then he can teach you like much, much more when he gets here.